as I told you before, like I said, you got people out there that, when it comes to our technology, they are extremely threatened by it. And I would be, because our technology is extremely, extremely good. Now, I told you that when it comes to the tests that we have to put our screens under, they are brutal. I mean, really, really brutal. I mean, they have to have ambient light rejection tests have to be done outside. They have to go through multiple different forms of certified projection screen versus some of the technology we developed, as you can see, have some of the most strangest, most craziest colors attached to them. And these screens can pull white levels. They can pull contrast levels. We got screens that are super light that can pull amazing contrast capabilities, stuff that people can't do. And the one thing we know is, like I said, time and time again, they'll keep coming after the 12. Now, this is a 12 at 135 inches with 11 certified screens laying against it right now. Something that you don't see other screens doing. They won't go side by side with big screens. And if they do pick a brand name screen, they'll use something that will be close enough to their screen to give them a bit of a vantage point. As you can see with this technology I'm displaying right here, we have just about everything we have in our kitchen drawer that when we collect these high performance screens next to a 12. And a 12 can take on quite a lot, as you can see. I gotta get a charger for my battery. I think I got a whatchamacallit port right here where I can actually charge my battery up. So we're gonna do some lights out, lights on. This is a late demonstration. Sometimes I do late streams. This is a lights off and lights on demonstration. You can see in this environment, I have a ton of ambient light that's making contact with the screen. Now, like I said, with these light gray screen paints, one of the things I never see in any of the demonstrations, I never see a display of contrast. Never. I don't see Starfield demonstrations. I don't see OLED demonstrations. I don't see any kind of deep dark demonstrations. It's the reason why you don't see these with these particular light gray screen paints is because they can't produce a contrast level. Now, you want to talk about light grays? We have up against my screen right here, certified light gray screens. Not a screen paint mix, certified screens. We got daylight screens up here. We have DMP Supernova. We got Seymour AV. We got all kinds. We got everybody up here against a 12. Look on the red display. The black screen is producing a higher and richer color than 11 certified screens, including that silver mixed paint right there over there. I told you, when you watch demonstrations, not only are they supposed to be showing you the different colors, which you're supposed to be seeing, that screen is really picking up that color. But I told you, if a screen is too light, if it doesn't have color code, number one, and if it's too light, it's not going to be able to pick up the color correctly. And when they do those demonstrations, in what you call an ambient light controlled environment. The darker, the better. As you can see, there's no ambient light control in these environments whatsoever. So we're going to swap out colors, do contrast, everything. And the beautiful thing about 12s and any other coding technology we develop is that these screens not only can pick up extremely high white levels and maintain and look amazing, but they can pull contrast levels that any gray screen without that coding can't do. Now, like I said, tomorrow, and I told you as I put that challenge out for that individual, I told you he was not going to do it. He can't do it. He's nowhere in the world. He can't do it. And if he can't do the challenge, that means at the end of the day, you trying to make our product makes you a fake. Well, makes you a fake anyway. But it just shows that you can't do it to begin with. You can't even follow behind me. You can't do anything that I'm doing. Can't compete with anything I'm doing. I gave you a simple challenge. You go on your channel. You want to make my product. Then here you go. We gave you permission to make the exotic. Permission to make it. And you're avoiding it at all costs by attacking, saying, well, you're not attacking us. If you're saying that all black screens react that way, that makes you immature. Because that's like you saying that anybody who develops a black screen, this is what it's going to look like. That's like saying anyone who drives a car is going to go through this. No, all cars have different performance. They have different performance and speed and how they race and how they move. You can't compare a Lamborghini to a Honda. Virtually impossible. We all know that. There's a difference between the machineries. So you, by saying that, oh, this is black paint, all black paint reacts the same way, you can't say that. Optima has a black screen, a jet black screen. I saw it. It's freaking amazing. I would love to get my hands on it to come over here and do a little comparison with it. but they do have one, a black screen. I know anywhere I can say that my technology would be better than theirs because I haven't tested it yet. I don't have it over here to do so. So for that person to make such a premature statement like that, yeah, that there's no weight to that whatsoever, especially when you're looking at this right now. But I can say this from the door. I know for a fact from enough experience being in the business that the color of the screen he's displaying can't pull contrast level and it won't pull color. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. And look at the screens we have up here. These aren't light gray screen paint mixes. These are certified screens. What do we got up here against the 12 right now? We got daylight screens. We got the cinema gray, which is a very light gray screen. We have the cinema gray 5D. We have a matinee silver. This is a Seymour 81.3. It's a pure silver screen. That would put this screen to shame. This is a very powerful screen right here. We have the modern mix, which is that Metallica mix paint. Over here, we have a matinee black. We have a matinee black. It's a matinee black. Matinee mix of black called 0.9. It's kind of like an upgrade version of the matinee black. We have the Dark Star 9 over here. Cinema Gray 3D right here. Matinee silver right here. DMP Supernova right here. And then Daylight's new screen. We have both of them screens. Daylight's top, they silver. And then we got the one with the 8.0 or 0.8. So keep in mind, I told you I can look at a screen and I can actually break down the color of that screen just by staring at it. That max paint that he's displaying looks very close to a personal mix. Extremely close to it. Another thing too, the cinema gray would match his screen perfectly. Easily. And if you look at a white screen, when we did the demonstration on the white screen, the cinema gray blends in almost close enough to a white screen. And we did that demonstration with the elite white screen. I guarantee if you put a white sheet of paper against that screen, it'll react the same way. And let me go grab a few things real quick, get my charge in the back. We're going to do a few color demonstrations, do lights on, lights off, the whole 9 yards. Something you should be seeing in the demonstrations is somebody just trying to I don't know what he's doing, to tell you the truth, I don't know. But like I said, by tomorrow morning, well, actually the Lord just gave me 2 ideas for 2 more different screen paints. So now your challenge just went up from 10 to 12. And you see with that red, that burgundy red, oh my goodness, that burgundy red, gorgeous. That was gorgeous. Right now, I'm online right now trying to find a tension screen, and they went up like crazy. Tension screens weren't that expensive, man, but they went up. I went up and I tried to get an elite tension screen. I do like the screens. I have one of those. The elite tension screen, they went $3 grand. $3 grand for a 120 inch. $3 grand. I went to another company. They have a generic one. I don't trust the generics when it comes to tension because you run the risk of them, they jam the motor sometimes. So you got to be careful which ones you get. So what I want to do this summer is I got that 126 inch in the window. It does block a lot of my light coming in my house. It does. It blocks a lot of my physical light coming to the house. I wanted to get the floor standing projection screen, but they shot up in price. Vivistorm had them at one point for 120 inch at $1,500. Now they're like $3 and $4 grand. I'm like, no, I'm not going down that road. So I'm just going to get myself if I can get the tension 120 inch in the window, that'd be nice because I can bring it up and down. I can let my window light pour into the house, which I want, and I can bring my screen down if I want to. So let's see where that lands at today. So I'm trying to find one for a reasonable price right now. I'm on Amazon doing some shopping, and it's pricey, man. $3 grand for a motorized screen. Whoo, man, I don't want to spend that kind of money right now. It's crazy. But I do need one, though. I do need one. Let me go grab some real quick. See, for me, I find it interesting that, they want to come on YouTube and they want to do these fake demonstrations about making our product, and then we give them permission to do it, and we give them that challenge. Say, okay, Not only you have to make it, but you're going to have to make this in 20 minutes, and you're going to have to come up with that strange color, because all the exotics, people think we just go into and get red and blue, green paint. No, 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 no. That's multiple colors of paint mixed together to make that one color of red, because we have a special shade of red. We have a special shade of green, a special shade of blue. Those are multiple versions of paint mixed together to make that special shade. So you're going to have to figure out how to make the shade to begin with, and then you got to make it in 20 minutes. And within 20 minutes, it's going to have to react to 3 certified screens right from the door. Then all the tests follow behind it. That's how difficult it is to make those exotics. And he's got 10 on the table down there right now that have to be done. But he's going to have to mimic do all those, and including any ones that I come up with along the way. And we came up with that burgundy red within a half an hour, right after we just got finished shooting the demonstration. I got to change this out for the other ones. Because right now we got to put that frog tape up there. The other tape is not going to stick. But right after we did the demonstration, came out with a red one, a burgundy one. You said that burgundy red, look, that burgundy red was gorgeous. And not only was it gorgeous, what kind of red that screen from? But that screen sat there, and I put it on camera where we painted the screen, and I did a snowstorm. And you watch that snowstorm go from red to white, right there on camera, live. You watch that coating take effect live, right there, on camera. So you got to pull that one off too. Yeah, Matinee Black, I was right, Matinee Black. You got to pull that one off too. So, you know, if you're going to make statements about, and that's anybody. If anybody's going to make statements about trying to make our product, then don't just mix some paints together and put it in a dark environment, because we don't do that. Hit it with a high-end projector and then sit there and go, oh, this is how they made it. No, you have to follow every single demonstration we have done. Every single one. And you have to do them live. It's not going to do that demonstration. So if that's the case, then that means you're just a phony. You just come on there, you're doing fake demonstration, just trying to damage people's product, whatever. Call yourself making someone's product, make the product. Because I guarantee you, bar none, if I decided to get your product down there, I bet you I can make it. I can make it perfectly to a T. Not only can I make it, I can upgrade it. Like I said, I can upgrade it, and I can actually obsolete his own technology with his own technology. Easily. I've done it to myself. That's how I know. Told you I had that contract that was overseas, and I couldn't get out of that contract. It was on a 10-year contract. Couldn't get out of the 10-year contract because I had signed it. Should have read that thing a little carefully. And they had a great deal of our technology. It had a digital and crystal screen paint technology. I had to obsolete my own stuff to get out of that contract. Design a whole new product line, and then use that product line to obsolete my own stuff to get out of a contract. Develop a whole new company that had nothing to do with the contract to get out of it. So not only did I get out of the contract, but I destroyed whatever they had that they thought they had that they were going to be able to use to make money off of it, because it was worth nothing, because the beta testers did so many demonstrations against it. It had no value to it whatsoever. So I know how to do it, trust me. I had the experience of doing it with the contract over top of my head. I did it. And they tried to take me to court over, and they couldn't do it. Because my contract, we were trying to say, well, we have rights to all his stuff. No, I didn't sign the contract for that. I signed a contract for digital and crystal screen paint. Anything outside digital and crystal screen paint, you had no rights to. All right, so let's come over here. We got already, we're going to show the white levels first, which we like to do. So let's come over here first. Come on, let's bounce out of this. I can tell you it's not going to go well. We can see that already. So keep in mind, if the 12s were so dark and you can't see them, then you wouldn't be able to see them. Anything that's coming up the screen is not using frog tape. That's the problem. So you got to remove anything that's not using the frog tape. Frog tape sticks pretty well on the screens, on my screen. Now you see when I bring the camera up close, you can see my screen's displaying blue. Only campaign they try to do against black screens, I don't mean any black screen, my screen, anybody develops a black screen. The only campaign they have is like, look at the white levels, look at the white levels. I've done that. I think this guy seriously has amnesia or dementia or something, because he does not remember anything that we do. We've had your product over here. We've had your personal mix over here. We've done demonstrations against your personal mix against our black screens. We've done white levels. We've done all this stuff already before. But you keep going back to the same campaign over and over again. It's old, it's stale. Move on. There we go. There's no screen paint mixes up here. This is all certified projection screens, all big boys up here. All right, so we got everybody in frog tape, so we should be good. All right, let's see. Let's go to that white level first, okay? I think I should plug in my camera. If I plug my camera, I can use voice. So that's what I'm gonna plug my camera. I can use voice on my system. And to make sure we got enough power for all the screens we're using up here, right now, we're using the Christie 505. So we're using a 5,000 lumen projector just to make sure we got enough power for everybody. That's a 5,000 lumen projector, 1080p, 1920 by 1200. That's hitting all these screens at the same time. If they can't pull up under this projector, we're gonna have some, there's gonna be some problems. All right, so let's go to white levels first. Let's see. White screensaver. Yeah, better with the camera. I got so used to voice and everything now from the freaking Alexa's. It's got me so used to talking into a microphone now. I'm not used to basically typing anything anymore, which means I got to get a microphone system for the small computer over there. All right, gonna pull the white levels up. Now, as I told you before, and I explained to you in demonstrations over and over again, if a screen is pulling up too high of a white level, that's a clear sign, which we already saw already, that it's not going to have the ability to pull up color or contrast. The white level has to be balanced. If you're pulling up a white level that's so bright and so white, there's going to be problems for you because you're not going to pull up proper color and you're not going to be able to pull up proper contrast because you have too many white levels pushing off on the screen. Having a screen that produces a high white level is not a good thing. It's a bad thing. There has to be a balance in there. If not, you result to this, as we showed you before. There's blue. Take our lights out. Let's see what we get. There you go. So you got a dedicated theater set up. I got a 5,000 lumen projector. Christie's standing behind me right now. This is 1920 by 1200. This is a big, this is, like I said, it's not a 720p. This is a 1080p standing behind me at 5,000 lumens. See how much white light is pushing off those screens? There's no contrast to absorb. They can't produce the color. They fade, they wash out automatically. And we're in light, we're in the dark. We're 5,000 lumens. And if you notice that if you use a light screen, you know what happens? If it can't absorb that white light, it pushes off on the walls, which we showed you on the 100-inch Elite screen, which we used over here, or 135, where when that screen got hit, all this lit up. Let me see. We don't make 8s anymore. 8s are gone. You don't really listen, do you? So that's what happens when you don't basically, when you come in my channel and you try to troll me, you come out looking like, and I hate to say it, and I want to be disrespectful towards you, but you come out looking like an idiot. If you had known anything, you'd have known that the reason why the 12 exists, because we couldn't make the 8s anymore because of COVID. We couldn't get a hold of the formula that made the 8, and that's where the 12s came in. But you don't follow my channel, so, there you go. Bye-bye. Oh, and by the way, that comment you just made, I did a demonstration against the Luminous. The Luminous is actually 3 times darker than the 12, and we proved that one already. But before you come in here and make comments, I suggest you back out of my channel, do your research, then come back in, all right? Not new. Goodbye. I love when they come in with the little comments, when they make statements like that. You can't, oh my goodness, I swear. Follow me and basically understand what I do before you come and start running your mouth. That's why when we start displaying them different color exotics, they don't make a sound. They say nothing in the room because they still can't figure out themselves how a red screen is producing blue, green, and red. All right, let's move on. Let's bring up red. And mind you, like I said, this isn't no screen paint to screen paint. This is certified to screen paint. There we go. Now we're showing off green. So keep in mind, if the 12's technology was so dark and we're sitting against screens that are far more lighter than our technology, we would come up darker and they would come up brighter, which in the demonstration the individual just did was saying that this is how black screens react. You using a lighter screen and whatever you were using in that, I'm guarantee it was black paint that did not have the ability to have coding involved in it. It was probably everyday black paint, saying this is how all black screens react. Well, if all black screens react that way, mine should be reacting that way, and I'm using certified screens, not a screen paint mix. Interesting, isn't it? Let's move on to the next one. Let's go to red. You've been to red already? And we're doing this with the lights out. Now we're doing this in your zone. We're actually going into the darkness because you're used to being in the dark all the time. I'm doing this in the dark. Like I said, if you're going to take a black screen and say, hey, look, this is how all black screens react, right? And your screen is actually much brighter than the black screen as you displayed. He didn't say it was ours. He just put a little note in there talking about, oh, the color, the thing is superb. Keep in mind, if your product is so superb as you said, tomorrow morning I'll be getting up with my ultra short throw projector in my Japanese tea room, and I will be displaying a Starfield demonstration with all my window light coming in, and I can pull that image off. And I can pull a snowstorm off at the same time too. So I can do snowstorms, bright colors, and contrasts. You can only do somewhat bright colors, a snowstorm, but you can't pull contrast because you haven't done that demonstration yet. Starfield, which we've requested multiple times and you won't do. Call it like it is. You stick next to them bright colors. You won't do that contrast level for nothing. You can't do it. You'll do it in the dark because that's the only way it's going to be to show up. But anyway, as I said before, and this is where I laugh at his demonstrations because they're hilarious, and I'll tell you why. As I said before, he's got his bright screen paint mix. He's showing off supposed to be some black paint. All black paint reacts the same way. And then you're showing off where your screen's pulling off this high white level. The problem is when you do those demonstrations, you must show off the white levels. You have to show off the red levels, the blues, the greens, everything. As I'm doing in mine. Don't stick to one thing. You can't switch that over to a Starfield demonstration because even that black paint, being just black paint, will still pick up a better contrast in your screen. If you did the color patterns, it would pick up better. And even though it's black paint, yes, it would pick up better next to that thing. It would pick up better color than his screen because he has no contrast to pull a bright, beautiful color. Couldn't do it. Now, like I said, if all black screens were the same, my screen right now would be so dark that the other screens would be brighter than my screen. Let's go over to, what are we going to do from here? We did blue, we did green. And the color matching codes on here. We can do the colors back and forth. Let me see. Let's go over here. See how high my white levels are on my black technology? For the image you just displayed, that dark, dark, dirty image, look how white my sand is on my beach. All right. That's why I said he does childlike. It's childlike behavior demonstrations, and it is. It's childlike, you know. When you do demonstrations like that, it's childlike. Now, instead of me using one black screen, as you're doing in yours, I have 11 certified screens versus my technology, which means I'm showing screens that are far more brighter than my technology. And look at my technology. Maintain the color, maintain the white levels, maintain the contrast, give you a nice, beautiful, bright image from corner to corner to corner without the image becoming so dark you can't see it. So whatever you have in that little container or that screen you're displaying, that has nothing to do with us. This is how our technology works. But I guarantee you, but if I gave you a challenge tomorrow morning to take those blinds and pull them all the way up and brighten up that whole section and pull off a Starfield demonstration on that light gray screen and see what happens. Bet you he won't do it. Just like he's not going to do any of our challenges. He's not going to do any of those. He's going to change the subject to something else. So tomorrow when I get up, I'm going to open up my curtains. I'm going to do a Starfield demonstration. As a matter of fact, I challenge you today, right now. Tomorrow morning when you get up, do a demonstration. Take them black blinds, push them all the way up to the top. All the way up to the top. Let all that light pour in and hit your screen. And I want to see a Starfield demonstration. And not only will I show you a star field demonstration, but I will show you a white snowstorm. I'll show you white wolves. I'll show you skin tones of beautiful women. I will show you greens and blues and reds and all the beautiful colors. I will do everything on that screen while that window's open. But you can't do that. You have to stick to certain colors, because if you switch over to contrast, and I already seen what your screen paint looks like, it's automatically going to fade. Show us the difference between your screen and that personal free mix that you make. Show us the difference between your screen and a white sheet of paper. And do a star field demonstration. How close do they come together? Get the CMOR 81.3, the DMP Supernova, Dark Star 9, any one of the screens I have up here, and do that demonstration. Not one screen, 11 or 12 of them. Not going to do it. All right, let's go with, let me see. We did red. So if we're going red, I'm going to see if we can trigger off that multi-screen. I'm trying to figure out that multi-screen. It's a multi-screen color that pops up. Let me see if we can get a good color. Green. We did green already. We did green. Cancel. We did green already. We need something else. What would I get if I say cancel? Oh, something weird. You gotta be careful what you say on YouTube. YouTube will bring you to the dark side of the web with some weird stuff. All right, I need to go into search. We need to go into, let me see. Color purple screen. Here we go. One has that multiple shade that blends in and out, which is pretty cool. We'll do the volume one right here first. There you go. So keep in mind, you know who you are. That black surface that you have up there doesn't have color code technology. 12s have them. They don't have 100%, but they have them. They have a little bit of that color coding technology. That's why that 12 is pulling that purple so beautifully when all these other screens can't pull it. And this isn't some black paint that you mixed and slammed against your screen. They're certifieds. Name brand, big companies. Screens are like $4,000 and $5,000 projection screens. And the cheapest one here is at $800. You can't do this demonstration. We have too much light in the environment. Your screen would fade out. That's the demonstration you need to be doing. See, when I display a black screen, you hear me on camera talking all the time. I got to find some white levels. Just search for some white levels. I'm hunting for white levels because I'm going to show you the opposite of what a black screen is not supposed to do. I'm going to show you those white levels. Where if anyone's displaying a gray screen, they're supposed to show you all contrast levels. So you can see how the contrast levels pair up. Heck, I got a red screen downstairs right now. We just developed what? Yesterday? Or would it be yesterday or whatever? No, it was today. We developed today. That can pull contrast level better than your screen right now. And it did it against 3 certifieds right from the door. It's red. You get up close to what you're saying, but I see a contrast level right there. I see the screen pulling a contrast level. No, you're not seeing contrast. You're seeing shades of gray. That's what you're seeing. Gray, 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 gray. You're all seeing gray. You're not seeing black. That's black. If you really want to do a side-by-side next to a 12, I'll buy your product. As a matter of fact, I think we have one already coming up. I'll buy your product and we can do a side by side to a 12. But if we're going to do a 12, we go outside. And I know by the color of your screen, you won't survive that one at all, period. We'll go outside, we'll do it around 6 o'clock in the evening, we'll do it at a 1,000-unit projector, we'll do it at 20 feet back. You won't survive that. Your product will not survive any of the demonstrations that we do down here. Our demonstrations, like I said, are brutal. We test against the top certified screens. Let's go pick something else. Let's go to, that song's gonna be stuck in my head for a week or now. No, I have some weird songs stuck in my head. Now, that, like I said, that light gray mix you have, compared to the certified screens that I have over here that have been tested and retested, they have been in shows, they have been in demonstrations and everything else you can name. They sell all the way around the world. Their technology is far more advanced than your cinema mix that you make, far more advanced than that. And yet my screen is taking them on. So what chance do you think of your product would have against my technology, even a 12? If I can take on this many certifieds with no problem. That's the reality check that he needs. I'm sorry I had to put him out there, but that's the reality check he needed. Your product wouldn't stand a chance against this screen. Not any of them. Not even on a 12. This reality check. Sometimes he has to be put in his place. He has to. Like I said, if he minds his own business, makes his own stuff, we don't care. We don't care what you do. As long as you don't involve our names and stuff, as long as you don't talk trash about us, you mind your own business, we mind our own business. But when you start running your mouth, I got to put you on blast. I got to embarrass you. Already, you have a challenge you have to finish. You're the one going out making our products and showing to, we can give this to you for free. Well, if that's the case and that's what you want to be, well, guess what? Now we gave you permission to make the exotic. Now you're going to have to make that product. And not only are you going to make that product, you're going to have to match every single one that I put out until we reach 30. But he don't want to do that now. He don't want to make the paint now. Funny, ain't it? You'll see demonstrations like this. He'll watch this and it'll completely slip his mind. And he'll do the same demonstration again with the same paint. Like I said, I think he has some kind of dementia or something. He forgets stuff. If I'm doing it against certified screens, what chance do you think of your mix will survive next to this technology? And these are certified screens. This ain't no screen painting mixes laying against my screen. These are certified projection screens. Name brand, big companies. What chance do you think that you would survive against this screen? You got to wake up to reality, man. We are not on the same page. You will get crushed in this field if you go toe-to-toe with me. You can't compete with my technology. Are you crazy? Oh, man. He tries. You got to give that much. He tries. Stick in your own freaking lane. That's what you need to do. Stay in your lane. That's where you belong. My intentions aren't towards you or your parties or any of you hobbyists. I couldn't care less about your product. My technology is toward these guys. That's where my goal hits at. Thank you. It's toward these guys. You don't have nothing to give me that gives me a challenge when I wake up in the morning. These guys give me a challenge. Well, not really to tell you the truth, but I'll find one of them. There's one now, there's a screen now I'm hunting for right now. There's actually a few of them that I'm hunting for. And it's not to belittle their company. It's not to do this now. It's to see how my screen stacks up. Because at the end of the day, I want to know that how far I need to go to make it to that next level. And in order for me to make it to that next level, I got to challenge the best. And these are the best that I'm going against right now. What you have will not stand against my technology. Now, I found that Optima now has a black screen. I got to hunt that thing down. Probably gonna cost me an arm and a leg for a sample, but I'll figure it out how much I need to get one. But I found that they do officially have a black screen now. There's another company called Knox. There's a Knox, N-O-X. They got a black screen. Got to go track them down. There's another company over in China called XYZ. I've heard about them quite a few times. They claim they have a black screen, but what I've seen from the demonstrations, they use a lot of ultra short throws and they stay away from windows, which means there's a flaw on the screen in there. It doesn't do well to ambient light, and long distance throw does not pull up on the screen quite so well, but we'll find that out once we get our hands on one. The company by the name of, I call them Lux, which is they spell it correctly, L-U-X-I-N-I. So L-U-X-I-N-I. I just ordered a 60-inch sample sheet of theirs. It's coming in. The Elite Screen Acoustic, we have that coming in to go against the black acoustic screen in the back. Elite Screen has a screen called CLR. They're ultra short throws. I'm curious about them. I wish they had it a little bit darker, but they don't have a little bit darker. So I have to match it against something that we have that will be equal to it. Because if I put it against a 12, it's not going to be able to withstand the 12. As you can see already what's going on right now on the screen. So when I do these demonstrations, it's not to belittle these companies or tear them down. It's basically to see where my technology stands. Because if I'm going to be going against these guys next year, when we start developing our own form of projection screens and motorized screens with special 21 coating attached to it, we need to see where we stand at when it comes to going toe-to-toe with these guys, because these guys are going to be our competition. And I want to make sure that we get a jump on them before we get out the gate, which we're right now testing 12s and all these other forms of technology against to see where we need to actually start working and how we need to make the 21. You do know, as we're working on the 21 is going to take about a year to actually make. This is how crazy this stuff is. If we're designing screen paints within 20 minutes and they're blowing these screens out, what do you think what's going to happen if we're taking technology and we're doing, and it takes years, about a year to develop this stuff. So the object is to basically every formula we design and we throw it against one of these screens, we can see exactly how we can overpower the screen and take a bit of that technology and integrate it into the 21s. The 21s have a bit of every form of technology we ever developed into that one code, and then we drop that sun killer into it. And what do you think you have after that? You have a screen that nothing can stand against. And then we'll charge a nice affordable price that everybody can afford it, which we do with everything else. So when they say he saves you hundreds, we save you thousands. Thousands and thousands of dollars. And again, when he did the demonstration, he was in a dark environment, as always. Well-lit environment. He didn't even give you the angle gain, did he? Keep in mind that 1 quart of my technology costs my customers $146. The cheapest screen laying against my screen is $800 for a 100-inch. At $126, my customer has the option of painting a 100-inch to a 120-inch. They can use with ultra short though, and it is fully weatherproof. At one of these screens at around $800, you're not taking it outside. The screen can pull contrast. You're having an issue with color. It is ultra short though compatible. I'll tell you which one it is, but it's one of them. And it's going to cost you $800 for a 100-inch. Not a 100 to 120-inch, a 100-inch only. Once it's on that fixed frame, that's it. If you want to switch it over to a motorized screen, that price jumps up because now you got to pay for a motorized projection screen. Technology we developed, you can go to eBay and buy yourself a cheap $68 motorized projection screen and coat this onto it and have an amazing screen. Cost you next to nothing. This is why the big companies consider us to be a threat. Let's go over to OLED, beta fish. I just say OLED beta fish. Well, voice recognition doesn't work half the time anyway. OLED beta fish. Here we go. That's something you can't do. Can't be in a fully lit environment, and you can't do that OLED demonstration with the lights on. Because in the OLED demonstration, the background must always remain black, no matter what. You would have to do that demonstration in the dark. As light as your screen is, there's no way in the world it's going to be to pick up at all. Remember, anytime you're seeing somebody display OLED demonstrations, the backgrounds must always be jet black. It's designed for TV. People think that when you watch people do it off projection screens, you got to remember that demonstration was made for a TV that is designed to pick up a jet black image for the background. That's why we display this off those different color exotics, because they can pull contrast levels. And that LT Caramel, that light screen, pulled that contrast level. That thing was quite impressive. We're going to do some more demonstrations of that one right there. Even with the lights up, they don't pull up. They stick you in an environment you can't be in. Now see, when he does those demonstrations, that's just him going out and taking everyday black paint, painting it onto a board, putting it against his screen, and trying to give a hint like, look, this is how black screens react. If you were intelligent enough, and I hate to put you down like that by saying that, but if you were intelligent on that level, you know there's multiple black screens out there. We're not the only one that develops black technology. There's actually a few companies that develop black screens. And like I said, Optima has one too now. They got a jet black screen. Extremely expensive, but they have one. So you're saying that everyone that develops black screens, from Optima to any one of these big companies, from us to people that develop screens and all that stuff and do black screens, we're all the same? We all come out dark that way? That's what you're saying? I can say that about your technology easy, because I got certified grade screens against mine, and I know your screens ain't nowhere near a certified grade screen. So these screens can't compete with our technology, I think yours is going to be to compete. You can pick up that high white level. Yes, you can. But you're not picking up no color off of that thing. Let's do the Sony 4K demonstration. Let's go back here a little bit. See how the colors fade? When it comes to the colors pop up, automatically fade. When I showed you the reds, blues, and greens, how the contrast levels don't pick up. Screen's too bright. It's picking up too much white light. That's why we show you the white levels first. We got to have a balance in there. When a screen comes up a little darker on the white levels, that's not a bad thing. That means the screen has the ability to maintain contrast, as our screen's doing right now. And if the screen was so dark, well, you wouldn't be to see anything at all. You would just be to see their screen only. Again, OLED demonstration. Background must remain black. Let's come out of here real quick. Let's go over to... do too much damage. We need darker on them. Here we go. We do that one. Let's do... Here we go. Background's supposed to be black. Again, see how the red levels don't pick up? Just like I showed you. I showed you the solid colors. There you go. Lights. You see, I don't know what's even worse. It's worse with the lights out. If I take the lights out, the screen fades even faster. Caught you guys just in time. I tripped. Well, I tripped. Gotta really be careful on here. Okay, here we go. There you go. That's what you're getting from your projector right there. You got 5,000 lumen. Using that monster right over there. Just you don't think that since we're sitting back from a distance, so some people think because you're sitting back from a distance, that's the reason why the screen's reacting that way. No, it can't pick up red. That's it. That's that silver mix I told you about that I got, that I painted. That's the same color as probably the paint he has on his wall right now, or screen. Like I said, reality check for you, my friend. If these certifieds ain't picking up on my screen, what makes you think yours can? And your screen's not even certified. I think I'm gonna do a blueberry screen. I just saw the blueberries in the corner. I want to do a blueberry colored screen tomorrow. Yeah, we got to do blueberry. All right, we're up to about 11, no, about 10 or 11. I gotta count. 11, somewhere around 12 or somewhere around there. So we'll have that one to make too. And keep in mind, my projector downstairs, when I did that unboxing on that 720p projector, it's not a P2 projector. It's a 720p WXGA projector. See how credible that image looks on there? One guy thought when he came in, he didn't know better. He came in and he said, wow, that's a nice projector. And I said, well, it's not the projector, it's the screen. And I picked up the projector and pulled it down off the screen, and you see the image and the color fade because it wasn't hitting that technology. But you got a P2 projector over there, and I have a 720p projector, and my screen looks better than yours. And I can do that in a fully lit environment. Oh, and by the way, my screen's mustard gold, or midnight. It's kind of a mustard black, so we call it midnight mustard. I like that color. Look at this. Hold on. I want you to stare at that for a minute. So how's my screen supposed to come up black? You said it's come up so dark you can't see it. All black screens come up so dark you can't see them. That's interesting, ain't it? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why we got to come. When he does dumb stuff like this, we just come in and we just embarrass him. So he did that video, he just embarrassed himself. Because if all black screens are supposed to react that way, I'm pretty sure Optimus screen doesn't do the same thing either. You can probably pull a nice bright image too. Sunk a ton of money into it. I'm pretty sure they did. Probably took them years and years to develop. Pretty sure it did. But you come on here and you assume that all black screens are the same way. Well, since you're making that consumption, I'll make a consumption for you. Let's see you prove the fact that your screen can pull a 100% contrast level. Let's see you do that one. Because I'm going to make the consumption that, well, I really can make the consumption because we have light screens that, well, they have coding in them. Let's just say screens without coding can't pull a contrast level, a star field demonstration in a fully lit environment. So prove me wrong on that one. Doesn't this impact your brightness level? How would it impact my brightness level? Can you see the screen? Let me ask you a question. Can you see the screen? Can you see the clouds? Can you see all that? So how would it impact your brightness level if you're looking at it right now? I have demonstrations on screens that I've done outside at 1,000 lumens. So how is it impacting? If it's impacting my brightness level, then that means that my screen would produce a darker red and a darker green instead of producing a brighter red and a brighter green. And these screens not picking up any form of color whatsoever. So how would that be impacting my brightness level if I'm picking up a much brighter image when it comes to colors? It seems too dark to me. Okay. Bye-bye. I like them. It seems too dark to me. This is too dark for him. He can't see the screen. Let's move on. I bet you $100 he has a light gray screen. I bet you one thing, I can't see contrast on your screen or proper color. But if you feel that you can pull contrast below, you know what you can do? Post your demonstration of you pulling a black contrast level OLED demonstration, any kind of dark field in a fully lit environment, and let's see if we can see the contrast levels. Post it below. So he's saying he can see red better on these screens than he can see on our screen. Someone needs glasses. Yeah, too easy. Screen is so dark you can't see it. I can see it crystal clear. Pretty sure we all can see it. And these are the same individuals who go out and buy these high power projectors with all these contrast capabilities, and they swear they're seeing black levels or not. You're not seeing anything at all. You're not picking up any contrast or no bright colors. None of that's popping off to begin with. Where's your contrast? Where did it go? Like I said, it's an OLED demonstration. That background is supposed to be jet black. Where's your reds at? You're not even there. Missing a whole lot of picture. All right, let's take these down. sample sheets you have to get, you're going to be testing out your technology. You're going to be doing it right. You got to test against everybody. You can't be afraid that that screen's going to be better than your screen. You can't do that. If you're afraid that the screen's going to be better than your screen, then, you know, just stick in your lane. See, I can come up here and I can take all these sample sheets, one by one. All of them have different shades. All of them have different colors. And I can put every last one of them against my screen and have no problem whatsoever. You got to have confidence in your technology. They'll pick out whatever shade that will come closer to their screen and say, hey, look how close it comes to it. Look how amazing it looks. No. You can't do that. You got to test it against the dark screens. See how dark these screens are dark. You didn't realize how dark these screens were. Our screen was still picking up a higher contrast level. As what somebody said about, we did a demonstration against the LT Karma. That's a light screen that picks up that contrast level. And the guy was like, yeah, the light screen's just that and the other and so and so. He was going all into it. And I'm like, no, man, I'm going to tell you something. At the end of the day, nothing will pick up a contrast level darker than a black screen. And as I'm showing you the sample sheets that you're seeing here, these are some pretty dark screens. And they couldn't pull a contrast level next to that screen because that screen is pulling a 100% black level. Even the red this close up doesn't pull right next to that dark screen. So I don't know who. I guess when he said supreme, I know when he said the word supreme, our technology is supreme. He was mentioning us, but like I said, at the end of the day, man, when it comes down to it, I can take my screen, I can take all these certified screens right here, I can throw it against my screen, and I can show you the difference between my technology and theirs. And this isn't screen paint; these are certifieds. And if these certifieds can't take it, cannot survive against our screen, what chance do you think your product would have against this technology? To be ruthless here, but you'll mess around and you'll get yourself crushed over here. You don't want to do that. Stay in your lane. Yeah, my screen was so dark, I wouldn't be able to produce that. What was that fellow saying? It's too dark? Yeah, okay. Keep in mind, when you buy your projector does not brag about you having a 10,000 to 20,000 white level. It brags about your contrast level. Because even the projector knows you have to have a decent contrast level in order to pull up a darker image. And you need a darker image so your colors can pop, so they can explode off the screen. Because white screens can't do that, or light gray screens can't do that without code. Because what happens is if you take a light gray screen, they fade automatically. They can produce a white level, yes they can. But when it comes to the colors, they fade. This is why when you have some of those light gray screens and you have those high power projectors, this is what happens. You gotta stay in a dark environment. You gotta be careful what colors you put. You gotta calibrate your machine. You gotta go through all that nonsense just to get the colors to adjust right, because if any white light comes in, anything comes in the environment, your technology automatically fails just like that. And if you're in a dedicated theater room with a screen that light, do you have any idea how much of that white light bounces off your walls and your ceilings? Look how perfect that picture is. told you where my technology comes from. I told you. Yeah, you're not competing with that. You can't even pick up any of this. None of that. Unless you're sitting in the dark. Any black levels you see on there, your screen is not going to be able to pick it up. Spend all that money for a projector, you only get 50% out of it. You're lucky if you get that. Lights on, lights off. Some ambient light controlled environments in here is on or off. There's one or the other. You know, time to be sitting around adjusting my lights, worrying about the screens are going to affect my, the lights going to affect my screen. We don't have time for that. And this doesn't just go out to the, I don't mind the hobbyists. The hobbyists that are out there trying to develop screen paint, hey, hats off to you. I wish you the best of luck. I really do. For those of you who don't know how to stay in your lane and you think that you're this, that, and the other, well, come on, walk in front of this bus. I'll be sure enough to hit the gas. I'll crush you when you clean on over and think nothing of it. You want to come against my technology. Well, sorry, not mine. God. There I go, I'm getting upset. I'm talking about mine. I can't do that. It's God's technology. See, even I got to correct myself. But I will crush you. And that means big companies, small companies, yeah. You mind your business, you stay in your lane, we don't see you. You walk in my lane, I'm gonna run you clean over. Now, to any of you hobbyists out there that want to get into doing screen paint, I got no problem with helping you out. I don't have a problem giving you a few tips for some of the older stuff that we used to use to get you ahead of everybody else. But that particular individual, yeah. And if you notice my lamp right here, we don't have any special shade around it to block any of the light at all, period. Fly fishing. I'm going to try that one day. Definitely going surfing. That is not going to happen. See that right there? Looks like a TV, don't it? Now, I got a few customers who bought the projector behind me. That projector behind me cost my customers. My customers came in, he had a about $3,000, $4,000 budget for a projector. I introduced him to getting this projector and this screen paint. So he went out and got a gallon, which means he has now, this is a 135 inch. He can paint up to a 190 inch screen. And the projector behind him that he got, what I'm using right now in the demonstration, cost him $560. And look at that image that's pulling off. He didn't spend $3 and $4 grand for a projector. Just like my projector downstairs cost me $1,200, it's 720p. And that image on that projector, unboxed, no calibrating, none of that nonsense, right out to the door. Nothing changed on the projector. Only thing I had to change was my keystone and my ratio to 235.1, and I was done, and that was it. And I didn't have to spend $4,000 for it. And it's an ultra short throw. And my screen is not at 100 inches. My screen is at 138 inches at a 235.1, which is much larger than your screen. And keep in mind, my projector is not designed to do 138 inches. You ever look at the specifications behind the projector I had downstairs? They're only designed to do 100 inches only. Once you max outside 100, the pixels become distorted. That's a lie. It depends on what kind of technology you're using. I told you, at the end of the day, it comes down to the screen. The screen is what makes your projector. He's got a P2, and his screen can do up to about 150, about 130 to 150. My projector can only do up to 100 inches. That's it. And my screen is bigger than his at 135 inch at 235.1. And my image downstairs looks crisp and beautiful. Technology does all that. My projector sits back at a farther distance too. But like I said, if you compose that all black screens come up so dark, well, like I said, you wouldn't be seeing those bright shades of colors and blues. You wouldn't see any of that at all. Too dark. You won't be able to pick up the screen. Let's take the lights out and check this out. Now I had to figure out how to get this motorized projection screen. I had another one, which is a good motorized projection screen. I laid it pretty flat. I just want something that lays flat. I don't want to have to worry about having any ripples in it or anything. The last thing I want is ripples on my screen. Now, you see when that image turned black, you don't see anything else. Nothing. That's what you're supposed to see when you have a screen can pick up a contrast level. When that screen goes black on you, when it's changing over, because it's changing over now to the next, that image is supposed to be dark. Usually if you have a gray screen up there, you're going to see the reflection of the projector coming off right now off that gray screen. There you go. See, I know my screens, I know technology. The thing about it, when this individual explains to you about screens, he doesn't tell you everything. He tells you bits and pieces because he doesn't understand his own. So he doesn't understand how physical light and technology even works. So keep in mind, when that screen changes over, which is changing over to the next frame, where it's going to show all those beautiful colors that are going to pop up on the screen in a few minutes, when that all turns black, you're supposed to see nothing there. It's supposed to be jet black. True contrast. But if you have a gray screen, this is what you're going to see. Now you see nothing but black. That's what you're supposed to. That's how it's supposed to be. Because in order for that color to pop off that screen, that background has to be jet black. If it's producing any kind of too much of white light, then all those colors fade. Takes away from the depth of the picture. And this is what the light's at 5,000 lumens. Oh, forgot. Lights on. Doesn't change. Background still remains black, no matter what. That's why I said, stay in your lane, buddy. Stay in your lane. You don't want nothing to do with the 12s, trust me. Ooh. Ooh. Now I want you to take the time to go back and check out his video. I do want you to go back and check the video out after seeing this one. And I want you to see how he's displaying how black screens are supposed to come up. Where the levels are supposed to be so dark that you can't even see them barely. I want you to look at that. Watch this demonstration. Come back and play them back and forth if you want. Because I'm pretty sure what Optimus using over there, and I got to do my research because I need to get my hands on that tech. I want to see what it looks like. I'm curious. I'm pretty sure Optimus screen does not come out looking like that. I'm sure it's technology behind it. And as you can see, our technology is not black paint, because if it was, it would look the exact same as he's showing off in this video. So, yeah. So, you know, like I said, do your research, look back and forth. But meanwhile, when you get over there, request for him to do a contrast demonstration, star field demonstration, because if I can show you beautiful flowers on my screen and bright white colors and all that good stuff, and I can show you contrast, and he should be to show you the contrast also instead of all those bright colors he shows off the screen. You should be asking to see both. And while you're over there, don't forget to ask to see exactly what's the difference between his screen and that personal mix. Because I'm pretty sure they're pretty close to the same. Or his screen and a white screen showing contrast levels. Or just get a bunch of light gray screens and pull contrast over to see which one pulls the best contrast level. Stuff like that. Let's get a little closer. See these bright, beautiful flowers. I'm pretty sure you want to be close enough to see this, right? You can kiss her screen like this. See, before you open your mouth, my man, and make statements that you can't back up, do your research. Reed's done his research. He just doesn't think when he does stuff. That's the problem. I think the problem is he figures because he said it, everybody's supposed to believe what he said. Because he said it reacts this way, this is how it's supposed to be. Notice that when he did his recording, it wasn't even live, it was pre-recorded. Like I said, any challenges that we give you, all of them must be done live. And by the way, tomorrow we'll be up. Well, I don't know if it's already tomorrow already. Yeah, it's probably tomorrow already. We'll have another screen paint ready for you tomorrow for you to duplicate. So we're not forgetting that challenge either. Like I said, you want to make my product. We gave you permission. Now you have to make every last one of them. And they have to pass all tests, and they have to be done within 20 minutes. And those are the exotics. So you got a lot of work ahead of you. Unless you're just going to basically change topics and start doing demonstrations on electronics, which you usually do when you're challenged against something you can't do. Or you change the topic to a different screen paint and then try to slander that one. I'll come in here and do this to you. These beautiful bright colors, eh? Let's go over to... I want to go over to... J and K, 4K. Let's go over here too. Now, what was that again about our black screens pulling up a dark level that you can barely see the screen? Let's see. Let's get up close on the screen. I want to see how dark the screen comes up compared to the video he just showed a few minutes ago, saying all black screens come up so dark you can't even see them. Let's get close on our screen. Let's see how dark this screen becomes. Well, let's see. You can see the pinkish in the nose, the black around the eyes, tan around the ears. Look at the mane right there. The brown around the paws. You can see that white snow in the background. That looks pretty good to me, don't you think? Carl, I know you wear glasses. I know you're watching the demonstration. Tell me, does that look too dark that you can't see it? Huh. I'm pretty sure you can see the same thing I'm seeing right now, can't you? Yeah, be careful about making statements like that. You'll get embarrassed. Don't do that to yourself. You will embarrass yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Let's back up here a minute. Got something else I want to show you too next. I want you to stare at that screen right there. I'm going to leave it on for a minute because I wanted him to look at this carefully. This is for him to observe, to understand, so he can get some knowledge. To help him out, understand how black technology works. How we do things. That's what he needs to understand. I want to show you something. You see that screen right there? That is my black technology on wallpaper. You see that projector right there? That projector is only 1800 lumens. So I can show you my technology on this screen. Oh, the screen fires up. You've got a projector on that screen, always. There you go. Here's some more humbling experience you got for the day, for the night. You can watch that. This is also for JD. I want you to look at this very carefully so you can understand that next time you make statements like that, and I want people to go back and I want you to look at his video demonstration where he was trying to explain that all black screens are in the same category. Careful about making statements like that. See, this is what got you in trouble to begin with. You're making those dumb statements by saying that, hey, look, by making them dumb statements by saying, well, mixing black paint in and trying to make it look like that's supposed to be our black technology. Now, just say if my lawyer decides to say, hey, look, how about we have him paint his screen right here? Get a nice little portable projector like this. Paint it on a nice little screen like that. And we'll have him paint that screen, see if it comes up. See if it matches any of the demonstrations that you portrayed on your YouTube channel. And if that screen does not come up looking like you portrayed on your YouTube channel, you're gonna need a lot of trouble after that, man. You got a lot of trouble already on your plate already. You got a lot of trouble on your plate right now. That's a stormtrooper being displayed on my screen. Let's go over to YouTube. I got to get used to this thing. I'm still not used to this thing. Let's go over to... when people come here and make comments about saying, oh, it's so dark I can't see it, I know that's strictly your fanboys coming in here running their mouths because we can all see that crystal clear with no problem. We don't pay y'all no mind. We just block y'all. Gotta get used to that. You gotta double click on the OK. I'm not using it to side mouse. Like click, click, click. That's what I'm used to doing. Now, for those of you, I don't call you crow boys anymore. We call you neighboys. Your neighboys who basically want to criticize my technology. Well, here's the thing. You take your product, you do a Starfield demonstration, and you post that below this video. I'll look forward to that. Because I'm coming back in to check these posts to see if they're there or not. You're going to talk it, back it up. Because I can back it up. Let's go over to this one right here. This is another one he's done with black paint saying our technology can't pull it up. There you go. I'll get you close to the screen if you want. You know, that's me pulling up Windows on my screen on an 1800 lumen projector. And this is 12 technology I'm using right now. Now, in order for you to read the text on this screen, if the screen was so dark, you wouldn't be able to see the text at all. Let me show you something that you uncoded. We're going to call you uncoded screens can't do in a fully lit environment. You couldn't even begin to pick that up alone by itself. I ain't used to using a freaking mouse that's remote control. It's freaking crazy. I don't know how people use these things in board meetings. Point and click, Bob. Point and click, Bob. Point and click. I got this. I got this. I got this. I got this. There you go. There's my screen being displayed right there. Oops, wrong. So I got to get used to the mouse. Really hard to get used to this thing. Yep. Let's grab this one. I have to get used to this thing. I've never used one of these things before. What's that survey asking for? We don't need all that. Here we go. Let's get rid of this. Any more to play around with? Occupied on this mouse, that's what I'm doing. And this is 1800 lumens, this is 5000 lumens. So this was set up in here like this because when we show off this screen, keep in mind, we have the naysayers that'll come in here and go, what's a 5000 lumen projector? Of course the screen's gonna show up. Well, that's 1800 lumens right there, over there on that mini little projector in a fully lit environment, traveling the distance from here to here and still making contact with the screen and producing an image. And I can come over here, oh, wait. Let's come over here real quick, let's pause this. Since the screen's supposed to be so dark, you can't see it. There you go. And since I can come over here and I can view my screen on an angle like this, knowing that I'm using a projector of only 1800 lumens. And that projector over there, look at the white levels on there at 1800 lumens. See how bone white they are? There you go. So I can back it up. I'll set you right there. Screen to be so dark. Anywhere I stand in this room, the image will pull up. Chip black. If I stand over here in the corner, I can still see it. From anywhere I turn, that screen has to pull up. This is how I test my technology. I walk around in a room with a camera and I record, going from one angle to the next. Anywhere I hit, bam, 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 that screen's got to pull up. Anywhere I stand from corner to corner, when I walk around this room, that screen has to pull up. Look at the white levels on an 1800 lumen projector. 5,000, 1800. I don't need 5,000 lumens to make my screen pull white level. That was one of your theories, not my customers. One of the naysayer theories was the only reason why I can pull the white level that high on the screen, that it has to have something to do with my lumens. You're wrong. It's nothing to do with my high power lumens. It has something to do with the fact that, like I said before, at the end of the day, my technology comes from God. And you can keep coming in here and keep coming here with your nonsense. I'll keep debunking you every single time. You'll fail every time. Every single time you'll fail. I can back my technology 100%, and I can do it live with no problem. What would all this look like with the lights out? Let's play in your world. Usually in their world, they have to be in the dark all day. You don't do that over here with the dark. You have to deal with it. I get people say, well, why don't you turn the lights out? Turn the lights out. I want you to have the lights out. Is that supposed to be hard? I have people who laugh over this comment all the time. Like, why in the world? They ask this man. This man's sitting here showing you his technology pulling up on 90-degree angles anywhere he walks in the environment. He's walking through his house. All his screens are firing up. And he's doing this with all the lights on, but for some reason, I always get that one individual that will come in and think because it's going to be harder for my technology with the lights out. Do you understand how the physics of lights work when it comes to projectors? You do know, like, the longer the distance throw, you know what I mean, the harder it is for the image to pull up, depending on how much ambient light's in the environment, because if you start off with 1,000 lumens and you travel at 13 feet in a fully lit environment, you no longer have 1,000 lumens by the time you make contact with the screen. Depending on how dark the environment, which means the higher chance of your lumens surviving to make it to the screen. And the screen is going to have to be to pick up whatever's left that makes it the destination and pick up a high enough gain to push up a white enough and bright enough image right back at you. That's why when people use high-end projectors, they know that they're going to be sacrificing a few lumens here and there if they're going to be using it in commercial property. That's why they use the big boy projectors in that kind of environment. The higher the lumens, the farther the distance. That means they're talking about per square inch. But, you know, you guys, they don't think about that when they talk. So when I come in here and show you demonstrations of a projector sitting back around 18 feet, and it's doing a demonstration about 13 or 14 feet back, and we're doing at 5,000 lumens, the first thing somebody says is, well, that's not fair, because your projector is 5,000 lumens, and when the time it makes, it's going to have plenty enough power to hit that screen and pull an image back. Well, that's interesting, because we had 11 certified screens up there, and with that projector at 5,000 lumens was blowing off that red image, they couldn't even pick up that image with the lights out, which means 5,000 lumens, somewhere around probably, I'd say we got 3 probably connected with the screen, and came back, and they couldn't pull that color. They couldn't pull the contrast levels. The screen just didn't have enough to gather up enough to show it back at you, that's all. Now see, they don't explain to you this in the other video demonstrations because they don't even understand what they're doing. They're not going to tell you about how distant throws work. You know, it's easier for a projector that's ultra short throw, because with a projector that's ultra short throw, there is no excuse why your image should not show up. Your projector's sitting what? Less than a foot away from your screen? At 36,000 lumens, at 5,000 lumens, you're sitting at less than a foot and your image can't pick up this, that, and the other in a fully lit environment? Yeah, there's a problem there. You have less of a distance throw to go. Yeah. That's a problem right there. That's a problem. Now you see where my projector sits at. My ViewSonic projector sits on the floor, and it's got to be at least about, because mind you, they're not designed to do 100 inches. Which, I'll show you real quick. Look at those bright white levels. I'm going to do it this way, so that way you can see both screens at the same time. How about that? We'll do it that way. You get a chance to see that screen and that screen all at the same time. So the very thing they say that we do, the smoke and mirrors and all that nonsense, they do that stuff every day. That's why our demonstrations don't look the same. That's why. And giving him that ultimatum by telling him to, make the exotics and do the same demonstrations we do, it changes the subject. If he can't do those demonstrations, what makes you think his product it's going to be to do what he says it does? If he can't pass those demonstrations. So that means all that time he's talking about, we can make this product do the same thing. He just lied to you. Can't do it. That's why he can't do it any of the exotics. He can't do any of the demonstrations. You don't understand how it even works to begin with. And every time he comes and he tries to slander the black technology, we do this to him. Embarrass him. And you stay in your lane. On your business. Concentrate on your own craft. That's what you need to do. Don't worry about what we're doing. You don't worry about what you're doing. You don't have to be subjected to this kind of punishment. Mind your own business. That's all. We don't care less about his product. We don't do it. We don't care. We don't. Look at the stuff that God blesses me to be able to design every day. Yeah. So when you think about it, at the end of the day, you got 3 people to contend with for your home theater setup. You could spend about $4,000 or $5,000 or $8,000 or $20,000 for your system, or you can mess with these hobbyists out here that don't know what they're talking about. They're selling you a product that isn't what it's supposed to be. They're hiding their screens under high power projectors. They're hiding their screens under dark environments. Telling you a whole bunch of bogus nonsense. It's not even real. So one time I heard a video where he told somebody that if you calibrate your projector, you can pick up the same black levels as a black screen. That's the biggest lie on the face of the planet. If that was the case, you can just get a white screen and calibrate your projector and get the contrast levels the same way as a black screen. Tell you anything. No theory, nothing behind it. Don't explain the science or technology behind it. Couldn't even explain to you what I just explained to you just now about the distance throw. He'll probably repeat what I say and butcher the daylights out of it. Or you deal with our technology and you get exactly what you paid for. I'm sitting up here at nighttime or the next day and I'm watching a 135-inch screen and another 100-inch screen on one projector being 5,000 and the other 2 projector being 1,800. You let me know, scour the internet, do your research, and find out how many people do demonstrations on my level. Heck, See how many people out there got a green screen, red screen, blue screen, any of the screens I have down there, and they're doing the demonstrations that I'm doing on those exotics. See how many people have technology that can take a direct hit from the sun. Haven't seen that one yet. See how many demonstrations you see with big corporations using 720p old projectors and making them look amazing. Oh, hey, do your research. I have customers that will come back to me and tell me I've done the research and I have not seen anybody do demonstrations on your level. I got customers that can easily afford $20,000 for a projection screen. But what causes them not to spend the money for that $20,000 projection screen is watching me do Tesla and certified screens. Showing the difference of, I can show you the difference between my screen and DMP Supernova, the Dark Star 9, any one of them. I have more light in my environment right now in his living room. And it's not even daytime yet. When it's daytime, you see the light pours through here, you let the light come in and everything. Yeah, sure. Let me go right here and get this thing real quick. Because I had a few people tell me that, oh yeah, if you get a projector and you max out the pixels, the first thing that's going to happen is your image is going to be distorted. Alright, I got a projector downstairs to prove that one wrong. As a matter of fact, when I bought the Optima GT 56 and 55, I bought both of them. I had both of those projectors. That projector was only supposed to max out at 100 inches. I was kind of bummed out over that because my screen was 126. But I figured, I'm going to buy it anyway. It should work. And it did. It worked perfectly. 126. We got this one at the PS 700. 700? It's a 700W. I have a 700W. PS 700W. That's mine right there. Yeah, mine is the PS 700W. PS. Oops, sorry about that, people. There you go. I think I paused it. Pause it. Come on, that's right. There we go. PS 700. I had the 700W, not the 700X. Pretty sure it's the 700W. 700W. I'm gonna pause this for a minute. Alright, let's have a looky here. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm getting my first projector tomorrow. Oh man, lucky you. Lucky you. And I'll tell you why lucky you. Man, that first experience of having your projection screen set up, boy, you can't recapture that one again. You're gonna have a ball, man. It's like a kid in a game. I think I watched every movie over and over and over again, especially a lot of Family Guy. I watched a lot of that. I'm just asking right here. How many recommend? Which size is your screen going to be? As a matter of fact, do me a favor. I left my email information on there because I don't like when I discuss people's business, do a live stream. I left my email information there in that in the box. Go in there and just shoot me an email, and I'll help you out whatever you need from there. Right, so this is my projector right there. This is a ViewSonic PS700W. That's the one I got downstairs right now. This is the specifications on my projector right there. That's my resolution count on my projector. No 4K, no 1080p. And you see how that image looks on my screen downstairs. See how you notice how it says W1610, a WXGA? It doesn't say anything about 235 in there, does it? No, they won't. But that projector does 235.1. No problem, Chief. You have a good one. My projector has a 10,000 to 1 contrast, as you can see right there. It has a 10,000 to 1 contrast. Right there. So you can see. Now we're going to go over here to where it says screen calculator. Let's see how big a screen I'm supposed to get off this projector. Now we're going to put it at 235.1 because that's what we're using. So we go into custom. This is also good if you want to build a 235.1 screen. you can come in here, you can customize how you want to build your screen. You do 239, 235. I showed you this is a good place to go if you want to build your customized screen. And maybe building a screen, you're not sure how you want to build it, you can do it. You can do it right from here. So we're at 235 because that's what I'm using downstairs. Now, right here, they'll give you how far you can bring your projector back. You'll have it right there. This is how far you can bring your projector back. If I tried to bring mine all the way up, the farthest my projector will go after it maxes out is 4 feet, 0 inches. This is the size screen that projector is only supposed to pull off. 111 inches. That's it. That's all I'm supposed to get. That's max on my projector. That's all I can get out of it. My screen downstairs is 138 at 235.1. And my screen's not distorted. Image quality is not washed out. It looks absolutely incredible. And I did that demonstration on an unboxing live. At the end of the day, it comes down to the screen. The screen is what makes and breaks the projector. That's what it is. People were dropping to those Valve projectors or those, I can't pronounce that, Exumi projector, because the fact that projector claimed to do a 150-inch screen is using pixel shifting technology. It doesn't even have enough pixels to make 4K. What the frick think you're going to get 150 inch out of that thing? So you think you're going to get a 150-inch screen out of that, plus use pixel shifting to squeeze the pixels tighter together to be able to achieve 4K quality when you're already maxed them out at 150 inches and you're trying to achieve 4K at the same time. That's not going to happen. One's got to give and one's got to actually take. So like I said, that's not going to happen. And from all the demonstrations I've seen off that projector, usually they're done in very, very well dim environments. Mostly they're done in the dark where you can actually pull those projectors up. So there's no way in the world that's 5,000 lumens at less than a foot away from the screen. You're probably working with probably around 13 or 1400 lumens at the most. Because that's what it looks like on my end. So, like I said, you know, the pixels just, if you don't have them, it's just not going to pick up. It's not going to pick up. The screen makes or breaks your projector. That's it. And that's why for a projector as powerful as the one he has, there's no way in the world he should be viewing that projector in that dark of environment. All right, shut down in here. See, like I said, we don't care about what he does. We don't. As long as he just minds his own business, stays in his own lane, don't care. You know, this is his business. If he's talking about his product, he can talk about a light gray screen that has the ability to produce contrast when we both know it doesn't. We don't care. It's none of our business. The minute you start sticking my name and stuff, then it becomes my business. Then I got to do demonstrations like this against you and embarrass your stuff. Same thing as I saw a demonstration if Elite Screen was testing out our technology and they were saying, look, this is blah, blah, this and blah, blah. Oh, yeah, I'm coming after your screens. Or any other company. He wants to make it sound like, oh, we just coming after him. If that was the case, I wouldn't have all those sample sheets over there. I would just have his stuff here only. If that was the case, if we were just coming after him only, I would have all his stuff here. There's no point in challenging this stuff. For me, I don't find a challenge in it. Okay, it's all shut down for the day. I'll be working in there tomorrow. Hopefully, I get in there to work tomorrow. I never do get a chance to work in there. This one's shut off because it's on a timer. If he wants to do a lights out demonstration, well, there's my 720p projector right there on the floor. The one I just showed you, that's only supposed to do 100 inches, and my screen is at 135 inch, 38 inch, 235.1. And this screen is one of our exotics. This is called the Midnight Mustard. Yeah, I know, I like the name. It's crazy, but I like it. The screen's actually a dark gold. It's kind of a mustard color. There's a screen I built in there right there. It doesn't make a difference if you have 4K. It's up to you and what you want to buy at the end of the day. I mean, if you like 4K, it's up to you. But the whole purpose of these demonstrations is to show you that you don't have to if you don't want to. If that's what you want, you can buy 4K. No one's saying that you can't. But no one's saying that you have to buy 4K. I'm not going to hear that at my demonstrations. No, in order to get the best picture quality, you have to have 4K. I'm not going to tell you that because you don't have to if you don't want to. You can use a 720p projector, which I'm using in my demonstration right now. And the reason why people lean toward those knockoff projectors is because they claim to give you that 150-inch screen. You can get a 150-inch screen out of one of these projectors easy. You just have to have the right technology that's not going to distort your image. That's why I got a 138-inch out of here at 235.1 when this projector is only supposed to do 100 inches. Look at the sloths in here watching fish all day. All right, well, these guys are going to watch it. That stays on all night. That projector stays on all night because right now, usually when you get a brand new projector, a lot of people, one person was telling me they thought there's wires burning in their projector, and I was like, no, that's the lamp. That's the lamp burning. You're burning the lamp, that's all. Get rid of that smell, you just leave your projector on all night. That's what I do with mine. This is where I was at in here. This is my junkie room. This is my Japanese tea room. This is where I'm retiring for the night right now. So I'm going to bed. Probably watch some TV before I go to sleep. What creepy message is that? Let's go put my fish on. You recommend your paint?
I am a little hard on you guys, but that is no reason to lose your sweat.
Yeah, you can use it on pull-down projection screen.
Camping.
I'll tell you why you can use a pull-down projection screen. There you go. I told you, got everything in the house. Anything you want to do a demonstration of, I got it in the house. There you go. Some motorized projection screen coated with 12. I picked this up for $68 on eBay. I've done it already. That's why I said it's very important that you do these demonstrations. When I do these demonstrations with these motorized screens, one of the things I never see when people are supposed to be doing this is the fact that they don't roll the screen up and down. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to display that. Give me about a minute. Oh, shit, kind of remote control around again. There we go. There's this one now. Pick whatever motorized projection screen, be done with it. $68. I bought this screen and I used the screen in a demonstration to be the $3,000 Dark Star 9. Now I got the motorized projection screen in here because I have behind my closet, I got my games and stuff like that in there. So it was easier for me to put this in here and hang it up than me go in and just put a fixed frame screen, pull it down, put it back up again. I think that's gonna bump my no, it should slide right between. Yeah. There you go. No scratches. Nice and smooth. Yep. Go down to eBay. Like I said, the whole purpose of our technology is so you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. Go out and down to eBay, get yourself a $68 projection screen. Get yourself a $125 projection screen and just code it and be done with it. Oh, you're welcome, you're welcome. And thank you all. I appreciate that, thank you. Okay, well, I gotta go. I gotta get up tomorrow morning. I got orders to get out the door for you guys. And I still got to do that demonstration on the customer's acoustic screen before we ship that off because I want to show him the screen before we ship it out the door for him. You know, and like I said, you know, for the other fellows, you know, it's not to put them down. It's just to keep them in their place, to keep them to mind their own business, you know. They can do the same thing I'm doing. It's not a problem. They can do it. The only problem is they're just so worried about what everybody else is doing instead of minding your own business. And if you mind everybody else's business, you can't worry about your own business. You know what I mean? That's like kind of driving and watching other people. You know, at the end of the day, you're going to crash into somebody or kill somebody. Just keep your eyes on the lane, mind your own business, and just get to your destiny, what you need to do. That's all. So don't worry about what everybody else is doing. And we'll put my 4K fish in. That's what I'm going to be watching here tonight when I go to sleep tonight.
Hisense, the fastest growing TV brand in America, hired
like I said, you haven't seen these acoustic screens. These are acoustic projection screens. This is already pre-coded. Just take it out, stretch it to the frame, you're done, and the speaker's behind the back of the screen. And these two are also, and this is the one when I get up in the morning, when the room is cleaner, when I give it in the morning, and I open up the curtains and I let the light come in and hit the screen. And there right there, that's 180 720p projector next to my dishes. And there's another 720p projector right there. These are all 720p's. All right, people. I am going to retire for the night and get some rest. Thank you all for your time. Be safe out there. God bless.